Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast, where we talk about everything dog. Q&As with veterinarian professionals, rescue operators, everyday topics. We cover everything dog on this podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks again for listening. Now here's that next episode. Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast. We are joined today by Ashley. She is the founder and owner of Envy Dogs Jax. So welcome to the show, Ashley.
Hey Brett, nice to meet you. I'm excited to be here.
It's good to meet you. I've been chatting with Ashley over Instagram for some time now. She has a new business that we are going to talk about today. So first, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and what you do.
Hi, so I'm Ashley Styles. I own Envy Dogs Jax. The name came from I've owned Envy Hair Salon here in Jacksonville for the past 18 years. I sold it in May 2019, not knowing that all hell was going to break loose with the pandemic. And I got a puppy. So I started taking my puppy to doggie daycare. And, I noticed there was a big problem because she's 13 pounds. So she's a little one. And she's feisty and she's tough. But as she started going to a lot of different doggie daycares, the problem that I was running into, and as you can see on all of their social medias, is they really, really seem to cater to the bigger dogs. Mm-hmm. And for her, she sustained 2 injuries. One was very, very serious, and she ended up having liver failure due to it.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm a helicopter mom in general. I don't have any kids, but I'm very helicopter-ish. I had a 16-year-old Schnauzer before her that went to work with me every day. And Cookie goes to work with me. What am I talking about? But anyway, so I noticed the problem, that basically a glitch in the system. Everyone seemed to cater to their big dogs. They're like, yeah, we have littles too, but they're not really on their social media. They're in with the big dogs. When you watch on the cameras at different organizations, of course, I'm not going to name any names because that's not how I roll. I don't have any competition because no one caters to the littles. Let me just put it that way. So we are the small dog experts. And I actually talked to my vet about that. And I said, can I say I'm the small dog expert? And she said, if you can't say it, no one can. You're the most controlling dog mom, one of the most controlling dog moms that we have. Like, I'm literally a psycho about my dog. But you know what? I take great care of myself, and I took great care of my salon and my clients, and I do the damn same thing for my dog. Okay, So that's that. We are an indoor-outdoor facility. We'll have 3 locations in Jacksonville by the end of the year. So we've got Jacksonville Beach location, which is where all the boarders come. So we're daycare and boarding. We spend the night with them. It's a slumber party. Personally, I had to open. The urgency was because my dog's not 2 yet. The urgency was there's no way I can go into summer and have my dog outside in 86 degrees plus temperatures. I don't think it's safe.
Right.
Because it's not, clearly. And the problem with Florida is there's 0 regulations for dogs, 0. Mm-hmm. And there should be. Texas kind of leads the nation in dog regulations. Surprisingly, you would think, some other states would, but actually it's Texas. What they do with their dogs there is amazing, and the they have. That was the urgency, is let me get my littles inside for summer. Now, our facility in Jacksonville Beach is an indoor-outdoor facility. So it's completely inside, and then we have complete outside too, which is they can come and go as they please. So we built in which I teach them how to use, a little doggy door, and they can come in and out. I'm right there with them all the time. I literally have nowhere else I'd rather be in life. Mm-hmm. We're a cage-free facility. We don't do any caging, which most doggy daycares in the UK, they don't do any caging. Ours 5. For some reason in the US, it's very sterile. Not surprising with our prison system here, but okay, so yeah, it's very sterile, but this looks like where you live, and that's how we operate. So we've got the Jacksonville Beach location, and then by September, we have the San Marco location, and I'm going to do one more here in town. I'd love to do Ponte Vedra if I could find a spot, but, because I've owned hair salons for 18 years here, I have connections and tentacles all over locations. How do we get this? How do we get that? And how do we get a lease on something that is affordable?
The Jax Beach location, when is that going to open this year?
Okay, so Jacksonville Beach will be open by May 26th. So 10 days from now. I'm not sure when this podcast airs, but so we're opening May 26th is our deadline. The workers are in there. Everything's cleared. We're in.
And this will be airing on the 25th, so it will be very close to the opening. So
that's awesome.
You guys will have doggy daycare, you'll have boarding options, and then any other services you guys are going to offer?
Yes. I can't believe I forgot this one, but it's on the website. So, which is envydogsjax.com. So we not only have doggy daycare and boarding, you can actually come with your dog, bring your dog. So we actually have 2 outside areas. We have the regular doggy daycare area that's indoor, outdoor. Then we have like this open space in the back where you can come, you can bring your dog. We don't serve beer or wine, and we're not going to feed you, but you're welcome to bring your own anything. I'm not in the business of beverages, but I'm in the business of consuming them. So we're more than happy. You can bring your own whatever. You can hang out with us on a Wednesday, a Saturday, where there's 7 days a week from 7 to 7. And you can bring your dog and hang out with them. It's all littles. There's plenty of room, and just hang out. You can do daycare. You can drop them off, and that's 7 days a week from 7 to 7. I have no problem keeping them. If you end up needing them boarding because your Sunday ran over time, then just text me. I am that easy. I have nowhere to be. No kids, nothing. My business is my life, and that's what I've always done. It's my baby. And in the salon world, we always ran Best Jax. And I in no way am worried about the dog world being the exact same thing. The business of dogs is a great business to be in, and I'm excited to step away from the humans a little bit.
Yeah.
And get to know y'all's babies. Had I had kids, I would have had a chain of daycares. But I don't. I have dogs, so I'll have a chain of dog daycares. And that's where we're moving in this today.
And then, so for the littles, so are you guys going to have like a weight restriction or a height restriction? Okay.
So yeah, absolutely on the weight restriction. The height restriction, I'm going to keep it like my Tinder profile. I accept all heights, but the weight is an issue. So I talked to the vet about that because I said, what are we talking here with the littles and weight? And the girls at the counter were like, 25 pounds and under. And the vet said, no, it depends on the breed. So if you have a Frenchie and the Frenchie's 25 pounds, they can do about as much damage as a Chihuahua because they are so low key. They're very, their temperament is very low. He said, allow the Frenchies with the littles because they don't belong anywhere else. He said, in no way should a Frenchie be in a weight with someone in its own weight category. Because they're not rambunctious generally. They're very sensitive. It's just a good breed, and they should never be with a bigger dog.
Yeah, and they're chunky
energy.
boys.
They're chunky boys, and they have that smush face. So when it comes to the smush face breeds, a heavier pug or, something like that, you want to allow them because this is where they belong. And that's what the vet said. So when I have a question, I don't Google it because my vets, they didn't get their education on Google. So when I have a question, I don't Google it. I go directly to the vets. And I have 3 vets here at the beach that I deal with. And, just like if you have a question about your hair, I would say, please don't Google it.
Right.
I'm a bronze medal at this game. So don't question that. It takes experience and knowledge and people that really, really know the breeds, not people that have time to sit around and write things on the internet. So we allow the Frenchies, one breed, which I don't like to call out breeds or anything like that, but I can tell you it's the pit bull of the littles, and that's Jack Russell. And no offense to any Jack Russell owners, I'm sure they're sweet and they're adorable, but in the doggy daycare, we just can't allow them because it's they're a tough bunch. They're a tough bunch. So it comes down to, the docileness of the breed. Of course, I say always get your dog in as young as you can, but a lot of people think that older dogs don't like doggy daycare, or maybe because they haven't been to it before, but that's 100% not true. So if you message me or DM me anytime on Instagram, and let me just say to anyone that's listening, you're never, ever, ever bothering me. DM me anytime. I have an excellent article to send you that I did get from Google on what small breeds do well at doggy daycare. And older dogs, it's so enriching for them because in our space, because all our guys are little, right? So I can kind of branch off the middle with a little, not fencing, but gating and put the olders on there so they can run around and play back and forth. But say the high strung ones like my dog Cookie can't really get to them to like roll over on top of them, situations like that. So they can be dated off, but still get the full enrichment, And again, when you board with us, I spend the night there. I literally am moving in my sofa from home in about 3 days, and I'm like, I'll get a new sofa, but this one from home, I know, and I know I'm comfortable sleeping on it. So that's what's happening. I'm coming, I stay there with your littles, and we got nowhere to be. Our facility is 100% cameraed up, right? So we have cameras on every inch of that facility. You cannot walk in the door. You cannot make an appointment. You can't do anything without a valid credit card that's already been written. So if you say you want to come and bring your dog to daycare, I say, great. They're like, can we just look around? I say, absolutely not. You can look around with a credit card on file in an appointment. The door's locked. It locks from the inside. You cannot come in because security is a big, big thing for me because we are little, and I'm not trying to, let's face it, people rob daycares, and that's why doggy daycares are so strict about letting you back there.
Right.
This and that. But, mostly with my experience, they're strict, and when they don't have cameras, it's because they don't want you to see.
Yeah.
That's been my experience as well. But so we also have a YouTube channel. It's Envy Dogs Jax, no spaces in between, and you can watch the dogs live at any time on YouTube. We have.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I have one of my employees. I employ a lot of older women that are retirees. It's like a side hustle for them. Hey, look, Iris, I'm paying them legally, so chill. But what I'm saying is I have an 83-year-old, okay? She's originally from Germany, and she's lived in Nashville for the past 30 years, okay? And she comes in and is reading love novels to the dogs.
I love that.
Reading to dogs is a thing, but I read a lot, right? And so I read to my dog all the time, and she loves it. She sits there and is like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, she is shook, okay? She loves for me to read to her, and all dogs do too. When you sit there and talk to them, they just listen. But, you can see all that on YouTube, and it's open all the time. You can watch us anytime, and you can contact and DM me, call me, text me anytime. I don't mind at all.
And I think you're really onto something with the business of dogs, especially the smaller dogs. So even with respect to reading, that might lead to kids maybe reading to the dogs or watching your YouTube and feeling comfortable enough like, okay, well, if she's going to read to the dogs, I could read to my dog. Or even the seniors or the elderly who they want a companion, but they don't have one, even just being able to watch you guys on YouTube. Maybe we could get like some, nursing home visits. Just, you and I talked about the business of dogs a little bit, and I think that you're really onto something. And I think what you're doing is going to grow far beyond just helping these littles, but I think it's going to help the community overall.
So about 8 blocks from our location, and one of the major selling points of the Jacksonville Beach location is that there is a women's shelter and a shelter right down the street, like a homelessness, right? So it's an opportunity for me, in the hair salon world, I can only staff one person, and that person has to have a license, right? So I didn't get the opportunity to be in the outreach of my background and what I come from. I'm from a church type background. Originally, I'm from South Carolina, and we country, right? So, but I've never had the opportunity to employ people that the job means so much to them, and think about it, if you came to work every day and your clients are your dogs, and they're so happy to see you, and you're some of the roughest spots of your life, right? But you're good humans. You just had a bad run, So this is recovery. This is outreach. This is children that, maybe they don't have the confidence to work at a restaurant. Maybe, where are they going to work? This gives them an opportunity too. And then I can say, you know what? You want one of these doggy daycares? I'm going to give you one. Let me get your location set up. This is where the franchises come in, because the franchise is cheap, but it's strict on who can come. We're strict like Chick-fil-A. One of my clients in the hair world owns a Chick-fil-A, and I've spoken with her extensively on how do we franchise this thing? What's the best way to do it? And she said, you have to stick to your morals. You never let it be about business. It has to be your morals. Who is this good for and why? It's good for your TikTok kid that's maybe not completely college bound, but they're sharp and they're sweet and they're kind, but they're crazy and they're all over the place. Well, guess what? That's a perfect place for a small doggy daycare owner, or a retiree that's like, I got to make ends meet, or they're sick of sitting at home, or whatever. And they're like, that's the great opportunity, but you got to be there. It's important that the owner be occupied in any business. I mean, the best restaurants you go to, the owner's in the house. They may not be there all the time, but they're in the house,
Right.
And you know who they are. And I have something really exciting to tell you that I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. So Envy Dogs right now has a mascot in the working. She's being made. Her name is Emily Paws. She's being made in Ontario. Okay. And she's a mascot. She carries around a picture of Jacksonville DeVille, and she's in love with him. So she does birthday parties, goes here. We have a golf cart. She'll be at the stadium. She'll be on the news. So we've got Emily Paws coming in hot, and she's a huge star. Wait till you meet her. You're going to die.
I can't wait to see her.
She won't be here until the end of August.
Okay. So tell everyone your website and then social media. Where can everyone find you?
So we're envydogsjax.com, and the social media handle's exactly the same. I don't have a Facebook because I just can't get my head around it. But Instagram, I'm a star. I'm there all the time. I love it. I would scroll over anything. So it's Envy Dogs Jax in any way you want to look at it, or you can look up Doggie Daycares 32250. And again, that's the Jacksonville Beach location, but we'll be at San Marco and then one more location by the end of the year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. I can't wait for this to open and for your other locations and all of the franchise opportunities. So thank you so much.
I'm so excited. Okay, so as soon as we get open, I'm going to bring you and your podcast to the building. Is that okay?
Yeah, 100%. We'll be there.
I'm excited. So
all right.
I guess I'll see you next month.
Yeah, I'll be there. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Canine Culture Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media. If you have any recommendations, any topics that you'd like to hear, if you know of any guests that would be good for the show, or if you yourself want to be a guest, please reach out to us. Send us an email at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on social media. Thank you for listening, and please share this with any of your dog-loving friends.